Avatar? Yeah, good. Go ahead. Go ahead and do that. Mr. Swirsky, can you help with the letting in of all the friends, since for some reason that's not happening right now?
Got it.
Awesome. Thank you.
Because he became the host again. I think you lost your privileges.
I did?
Oh, that's probably what it is.
Yeah, as soon as you came in, it said you were the host, Mrs. Swirsky.
You want me to make someone else the host?
Mr. Fiorentino.
I mean,
have the ability to let people in. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I'm gonna do it right now. I just let everybody.
I've them into.
There you go.
Okay.
You're host now, Fernando.
Awesome. Welcome, y'all. So as we are getting ready to go, I'm just gonna let this highlight reel for itself in a bit. We're gonna talk about who this person is. I mean, it's very hard to miss him. You see there's a big old circle, animated circle around that person's head. And you still that fast?
Yeah, I'm gonna be fast.
Okay. Well, I don't know, man. I know I could beat you in a race in 6th grade. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Nah, probably not.
Hey, that's that confidence. That's really what we need to have. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. We'll be started soon. We got a real quick highlight reel going on in the background. Also, the number of flags on plays where you pulled away for like a long run, I would have cried a little bit.
Oh yeah, it's like I probably had like 20 touchdowns.
But like 10 of them got taken.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, we're gonna have to play that one again in a second. Welcome, y'all. Welcome. We still have a bunch of people coming in, but to make sure we can use the entire time, we are going to go ahead and get started. If you are annotating for some reason on the screen, please make sure to not do that. I'm going to disable the annotations and clear all drawings. Awesome. Thank you. Welcome, y'all. All right, it is 12:03, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to all y'all. First of all, love seeing all your faces on the call. Many of you have your screens on, which is fantastic. Good to see y'all. Cool. I'm not going to say very much more. I'm going to leave it up to our wonderful MCs who are going to introduce our speaker for the day. So Tishan, JD, Jaden Duran, go ahead. Y'all can take it away.
All right. Hi everyone, and thank you for joining us for part 9 of the speaker series with the Transcend. And if this is your first time here, the speaker series has included community members from all walks of life who have shared their experiences with us in the hopes of inspiring us to find our own path.
Today we have a former student from Mr. Fernando, Sanusi, who is currently a sophomore at Purdue University, where he is also a football player.
Okay. To get an idea of what he looks like on the field, here is a clip of Sanusi playing football in high school.
So many of y'all already got to see.
Okay, it's awesome to get to see videos of him actually playing. My name is T. Sean, and I'm from the 8th grade and a member of 2029.
My name is Jaden, and I'm 7th grade, and I'm a member of 2030.
And we are both members of the WHMS flag football team.
Y'all let us know in the chat how you guys are doing today.
Just let y'all know, you can go ahead and put it in the chat. I unlocked the chat. It was just lagging.
Unmute. Oh, never mind. Thanks for joining us, Shinichi. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good today.
I'm doing it. So awesome. So this is our first question. So, what led you down in the path? What started it all? Could it be football or choosing?
So yeah, it's
Can you
a
repeat?
little bit, yeah, it's a little bit hard to hear you,
Yeah.
JD. Just, but yeah, essentially what started you down this path?
I can't say like for like one thing started me down this path really. Like I was always a big sportsman. Like as a kid, I played soccer growing up. My parents are immigrants from Africa, so they taught me to play soccer. Um, and then eventually I started playing basketball a little later, sixth, seventh grade, and then I had for a couple friends that played football, and I wanted to try football. And 8th grade year, I started playing football, and that was just the sport that I fell in love with, really. And that really started me down this path. Having those friends uh, that told me to play, come out and play with them, and we ended up playing. And now I'm here.
All right. Did you always know you wanted to go to Purdue? What other schools did you apply to?
Nah, I didn't know I was gonna go to Purdue. Not at all, actually. I had my junior year, I had 24 offers. So I had offers from West Virginia, um, Purdue, obviously, Vanderbilt. I was gonna get offers from Stanford, uh, Penn State, schools like that, Oklahoma, schools like that. So it was just I honestly, when I came here to take the visit to Purdue, my mind was set on me committing to Vanderbilt. Uh, I just like Vanderbilt that much, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go to Purdue and see what just what's about. And when I came here, like I just loved the campus, and I loved the coaches that I had at the time. Coach Poindexter, that guy's like a father figure to me. So he really sat me down and told me what his plan was for me, and that's when I fell in love with Purdue. Um, After that, I took a trip to California, so I seen UCLA, Stanford, and Cal Berkeley in California. But like after the flight, like I'm coming back home, and I told the trainer who I was with at the time, I was like, I told him that I'm committed to Purdue. And the next morning, I ended up committed to Purdue, and yeah, that's how I ended up here.
Oh, that's cool. Also, what does like how does like school look for you? Is it like harder since you're an athlete, or is it like since you already have a mindset, is it easier or harder, like as an athlete?
Uh, well, school and college is harder in general. Like school and college is hard, but it's especially hard as an athlete because you don't have all the time that everybody else has. Like if you're just a regular student, you can definitely like get a lot of stuff done just because you have a lot more free time. Like I have class Tuesdays and Thursdays for like an hour, and that's it. Like, and I have 4 classes. Like, so that shows how much time I have. But when you add the football part, then you have a whole bunch of hours, a whole bunch of those hours cut off. So, for example, today I woke up at 4:30. I had to eat because we had to lift at 6 o'clock, and after that, I had meetings with my coach, and we met for 2 hours. So, but I had an assignment due at 11:59 in at noon. So I had to get that done as well. Like you don't get no extensions, no anything if you're a football player. So you just have to manage your time well. You have to set aside time for doing homework and stuff like that, and making sure that you have all your things accomplished. But really, it just teaches you time management. It's not harder just because you're an athlete. It's just you have to make sure that you're on a schedule.
All right. What's the hardest part about being a student athlete? Like the hardest.
Um, I think the hardest part, well, to me that I've seen is the hardest part really is well, one is time management. Time management is a concept that people don't learn, but the hardest part is being disciplined. Like when you get on campus, like, and you're a student athlete, everybody knows you have a special book bag, you have all this gear and stuff like that, uh, and you think like you're a hot shot on campus, where you're the same person as the person next to you in your math class or your writing class. So I think it's just the discipline to know that you're a regular person and uh, being consistent in everyday things, not taking shortcuts. That's probably the hardest part because there's gonna be a lot of things that's gonna be hard in college, really, and you have to fall back on the discipline that you have. And if you don't be disciplined, like you're not gonna be successful. Uh, like I know there's a lot of like stats going on, like how many people make it to the NFL and stuff like that. Most of it is because people are just not disciplined. Like people want to take shortcuts. Like when they get to college, they think they made it. So they're not working as hard as they did in high school or in middle school to get to where they wanted to go. So that's that the discipline key, and that goes with everybody. Like a lot of people, I know a lot of like regular students that were smart, valedictorians and all that. They get to college, and they just start being disciplined in their work, and like that sets you back, far. So just stay disciplined and stay humble.
What does game day look like? Because I know, like, cause since I play football too, I know sometimes game day could be like stressful because like I'm very competitive and I want to win like all the time.
Yeah,
Like I want to be undefeated.
yeah. I know that's a goal that we try to go with every year. Uh, especially like playing in this conference. Like for example, like we play Ohio State at Ohio State next year, and we play Notre Dame at Notre Dame next year. And those two teams were considered two of the best teams in the country last year. So uh, Ohio State was the number 4 team in the country, and Notre Dame was the number no, Notre Dame was the number 4 team in the country, and Ohio State was the number 3 team in the country last year. So we play those two teams at their place. So that's 100,000 plus fans. You feel me? So like, you're not gonna be ready for the game at the game. Like you have to get ready for the game before the game, if you understand what I mean. Like it's like kind of like taking a test. Like you have to study for the test so that when the test comes, you're ready for it. Like there's a saying that you rise up to the challenge. That's not true. You fall back to your level of training. So in my case, like when there's 100,000 people, it's not because I feel 100,000 people and I'm pumped up that I'm gonna rise to the occasion. It's because I've been training for this moment for years and years and years, and is keeping that discipline to train for that moment. So once I get to that moment, I can play as good as I can and not be faltered by game day. But game day, like the experience is none other. Like especially with its fans, like I think they said that this next season is going to be probably the most fun just because COVID hit last year, so everybody's going to be like itching to get back. So like you're going to get 100,000 plus fans in the stadium. The stadium's going to be rocking and stuff like that. It's fun though. You just got to be prepared for that moment.
All right, what do you do to like prep before game day, like the day before game day?
Ooh, the day before game day. So usually the day before game day, we go to the hotel. So either we fly out or we take a bus to wherever the game is. Me personally, I like to take my mind off football the day before the game. I don't like thinking about football. I watch like movies or a show. Or if I'm watching football, I'm watching another game. I'm not watching the game that I'm playing in, or the team that I'm gonna play on the next day. Just because Friday is just the day that's like just easing out the corrections and knowing the game plan. So then when we get to the hotel, we have meetings. We have just like short little meetings, and we have something called a clap session. So it's like coaches put you on the spot, and they give you a situation, and you have to give the correct response to the situation that you're in. And other than that, though, I get sleep. Like I get a lot of sleep. Like I'm not, because you don't know what time the game is. The game could be at 12. The game could be at 4:30. The game could be at 8:30. So you get your sleep according to the time. And then when you wake up, you're ready to roll.
So you're saying you don't stay up till 3 a.m. playing Fortnite?
Nah.
Okay.
Definitely not on game day.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I'm gonna let them continue to do that. I just wanted to get that in there because I want to make that clear for everybody. But yeah, y'all can continue. Go ahead.
Let's see. How did COVID impact like your school, your work, and like football in general? Like, how did it affect your football? Did like in football, did it affect your skills or anything? Like, did anything happen, or you started training more than usual?
With COVID, I think COVID showed really like who wanted it more. I think that's what COVID showed. Just because when we got sent home from school. So me personally, when we got sent home, that was when we were in spring ball. So like we had spring practice and stuff like that. And I was doing great during spring ball. So when COVID hit, it was a setback. It was a letdown because I was just doing so great. But I had to refocus myself and think about the task at hand. So like, for example, the task at hand was trained to become the best player I could be at the time. And just instilling that discipline of being able to get a schedule, because if you can't, like, if with all that time that you had off from COVID, if you can maintain a schedule, a lot of people are not doing that. Like I know for sure, there was people on our team slacking and stuff like that. But not even my team, teams across the country, because like you got to put yourself in a space of you're trying to get drafted to the NFL. There's 256 people that get selected. There are 256 teams in college football, in Division I college football. We're not counting college Division II or Division III. So only 256 get selected in one draft class. There's 256 teams. Every team has about 80 to 100 players. So you got how small of a percentage it is to get to the NFL. So if a lot of those guys are taking that time off, you're going to benefit from having a schedule and maintaining that schedule. So when the ball gets back rolling, which it did in June and July, I was ahead of most of the guys just because I maintained the schedule.
All right, I have two more questions. What's your favorite class in like your school, or like which one are you doing the best in, or which one like is basically your favorite?
That's a hard one. My favorite. There's a class I'm taking right now. It's an interesting class. It's a leadership class. So like it's collaborative leadership. So which bodes well for me because I play football. So I'm gonna need to be a leader of a group of people. So basically the basis of the class is like how to have conversations with people, how to have like difficult conversations with people, not just conversations in general, but difficult when you have to confront somebody about them not doing work, or somebody's going through something and you have to approach them. So like it's just like learning the different types of people that you're dealing with, how they may react to a certain situation, and having the emotional intelligence to have a conversation with them. You know, like everybody's not going to respond to the same thing that you do. Like for example, there's kids on my teams like that you need to yell at them in order for them to get something. And there's another kid that if you yell at them, he's going to shut down. Like he's not going to respond well to getting yelled at. So you have to know the difference between the two and how to approach each person. So that's like, I think that's my favorite class right now, just because I'm just learning so much about it, and it's like helping me a lot, especially with football, because like it's funny because once you get on campus, they kind of already know who you are. So they already like I got picked out to be sort of a leader as soon as I got on campus. So like once you're like getting groomed for that position, you gotta like know a lot of things about people, a lot about who you're dealing with. So like that class like kind of intertwined with what I was doing with football. So like I was able to take the knowledge I was gaining from that class and use it on a football field.
I want to also just point out, first of all, Sanusi, the number of messages that I'm getting personally or in the chat about like you're speaking to people's souls right now. So I want you to know that and to feel that love and that shine. Also, like I'm not saying this because he's here. Sanusi legitimately was one of the students that taught me what he is saying right now. If I came at Sanusi sideways, we would butt heads. If I pulled Sanusi to the side and I was like, bro, I'm letting you know this because I know that you're capable of this, and I know you're slacking right now, he'd be like, absolutely, Mr. Trentino. I started to notice that. You're right. I'm gonna step it up. And then I didn't need to talk to Sanusi again. Because he already knew, he had that level of maturity back in 6th grade, right? So it's wild for me to hear you say that, right? Because you taught me that. But yeah, I mean, thank you for your sharing, and thank you for being here just in general, and just know that everybody is like sending you a lot of love. Y'all want to ask one more, and then we'll get to the other questions. Yeah, go ahead, JD.
Yeah. Um, what type of music do you use when you're training? Do you mess with Polo G? Huh? Or like
What you say?
the big artists, or like what's your style of music? You mess with
My
Polo
music?
G?
Yeah. I think what he said when you're
I like.
training, what music you listen to?
I ain't gonna lie. I've been listening to Meek since I was like a little kid. So like I've been listening to Meek for so long, like that's just like a go to. But like I'm kind of like I'm. It's crazy because a lot of people tell me like I'm old when it comes to music. Like I listen to 50, I listen to Ti, I listen to Rick Ross and stuff like that. But I do listen to Polo G though. Like Polo G get me turned, but like it really depends on what they playing in the weight room. And it's funny because you go to school, so when you're in school, you get a different taste of everybody's music. So like we got Florida kids. Florida kids, they love Kodak. Yeah, and they love Glock 9, stuff like that. You get Louisiana kids. Louisiana kids damn near die for Young Boy. Like uh you get Cali kids. Cali kids listen to Roddy Rich, Blueface, all that. And then you got Detroit. Detroit got this own sound. Like Detroit sound is crazy, but like it's funny, like because you get into arguments like, oh, who the best state in terms of music, like, and like I had to argue about like, yo, y'all states is not competing with New York, like it's funny, like it's it's cool to see like a lot of people's different tastes. And just because like and when I was growing up in New York, it wasn't cool to listen to Boosie. It was like I was in there thinking like Boosie was really trash. You get to school and they started playing Boosie and like I was like, all right, Boosie kinda all right. So like just stuff like that, like it was fun. But we usually listen to like a lot of younger guys. Like we listen to Dirk. We listen to Dirk a lot just because Chicago is 2 hours away. So we listen to Dirk, Polo G, G Herbo. Yeah, a lot of those guys in the weight room.
Okay, so all right, we know y'all have questions, so let's get to them, Mr. Ferrantino.
Absolutely. One of the ones that I saw that is kind of like a quick one, but I'm interested in is what is your number in college and why did you pick it?
All right. So right now my number is 21. I'm trying to get them to change it to 2 because that was the number I had in high school, but it's 21 right now. I don't think they're gonna change it either. But I like 21. Like 21 probably was my second option after 2. Uh just because like when I was growing up, uh, I was a big Patrick Peterson fan. Uh so Patrick Peterson was he was 7 at LSU. And then he turned, and when he went to the league, he got 21. So like I was a Patrick Peterson fan. I was a Sean Taylor fan. So like there was a lot of dudes that I looked up to that wore 21. So I just wanted to be just like them. And in high school, during my sophomore year, I wore 21. And it was just a number that was available at the time. And the last guy that wore 21 here was a captain. So like that was a number that means something at Purdue. So like they gave me that number.
What's your favorite football play? Like football play that you have done. Like what's your favorite play out of everything? Even high school, middle school, whatever.
Ooh, that's a hard. My favorite football play. Uh, I think my favorite football play. Honestly, I think I gotta go with there's a play on my highlight tape that me and Mr. F was just talking about where I was on the right side and they ran the ball to the left and the dude got loose. So like he's gone basically. And I ended up chasing him down and taking the ball, stripping the ball out, and one of my teammates recovered it. I think that probably was my favorite play, just because it's like it ain't like anything flashy. It's just like it's effort. Like it was just effort. Yeah, it's this exact play. Like it was just effort on my part. Like and just wanted to win, because at this point in the game it's 0-0. So like, and this is like the second quarter. So like that would have been a big play. So I ended up stripping the ball out, and then we got the fumble recovery, and we ended up winning that game. So like I think that probably would be my favorite play. But I would say there's a play, my first college play. I think that's up there too. So going, like, for context, like going into this game, we're playing Iowa. They have the number one kickoff return leader in college football at the from last season. So it's like this guy, they think like this guy's going to be an NFL kick returner someday. He's like, this guy's great. So I'm on kickoff. So I got to run down and cover the dude. So, and this is like this is the very first play of the game. So I'm running, and like I just see like a short edge. So I'm scraping, and I meet the guy, and I lifted him. And then one of my teammates like smacked him from the side. So I lifted him, and we smacked him from the side. And like that was like legit like my first college play. Like, and that I was hyped after that, just because that was my first college play, and I made a play on my first college play against a guy that was like he was the best in the country, literally, at the time for kick return. So yeah, that will be up there as my second favorite play of my football career.
And so I didn't actually mention this to you. They're both members of the flag football team. Coach Robinson, whose number actually was apparently also 2 in college, he said, because he played. So Coach Robinson and I and Coach Ramos, we coached the flag football team. And so just seeing the responses coming in, I think a lot of students would say like, oh, the time I scored this touchdown or the time that I scored this touchdown was my favorite. But it's dope to hear you mention times that were like a defensive play where it was like you showing that you weren't giving up. You know, you came back and you showed that tenacity that you had since, again, you've been in 6th grade. Like you were competitive about everything, whether it was like a fluency thing we were doing, whether it was like out on the yard, whether it was like who's going to eat lunch the quickest. Like you were super competitive. So that makes sense. Switching gears, and I know it's 12:34. We're going to take 1 or 2 more questions because there were a bunch before class at 12:40. One of the questions, switching gears, that came up was, as a young man of color, have you had any encounters with some, racist behaviors, and how have you handled it, at, whether in college or in high school and things like that?
I mean, obviously, yeah. Like I've had a couple of encounters, especially because, so my high school story is like unique because I ended up going to Cardinal Hayes High School at first.
Wait, my brother's there.
Yeah, so like, yeah, I went to Hayes at first. And,
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Small world. My freshman and sophomore year, I was at Hayes. Then I ended up transferring to a prep school in New Jersey. So like, I'm going from Hayes, where everybody look like me, talk like me, to I go to Blair, and like it's predominantly white and Asian. So like, and I'm a stand out because I'm just like a guy that likes to stand out and have fun. So like, people would like look at me like weird when I first got there because like they just didn't know who I was. And like you watch the news and stuff like that, like they get a false perception of who you are. So like, yeah, I definitely like dealt with like a lot of microaggressions. Like, how did you get here? Like people asking me how did I get here, stuff like that. But I think like people in general aren't innately like evil. I feel like just because like people don't grow up around other people. Like I didn't grow up around no white people or Asian people. So like I had like my microaggressions too. Like I didn't like there were certain things that they did that I just didn't like feel comfortable with. And it was vice versa. So like once I got into that environment, once we got comfortable with each other, like everybody in the school rocked with me. Like so I think that once you start getting comfortable with people, and like they know who you are as a person, like then all those things like tend to shift away.
Again, just so dope to hear you share and hear the things you have to say. The last question is just what advice do you have for students now, right? Like I taught you when you were in sixth. We have students from 4th to 8th grade. What students do you have? Oh, sorry. What advice do you have for students now who are trying to prepare, whether it is for college sports or just for getting to college and beyond? What advice do you have for students?
The first thing I would say is live in the moment. Too many times we think ahead too much. Like I remember when I was young, I used to think ahead all the time. Like, and now it's crazy because I'm technically I'm considered an adult now. Like you feel me? Like I'm not a kid no more. So like and like you think about it and like damn, I wish I could go back to being a kid. Like and it was funny like when people used to tell me that like you gonna wish you went going back to being a kid. But now that I'm at that age, it's like yeah, I wish I was a kid again. Like because you don't have that many worries as a kid. Like there's a lot of things that you could do, and you won't face too many consequences for it. So that would be the first thing: live in the moment. The second thing I would say, and this is probably the biggest thing, which it's funny because I just got out of a meeting with my coach, and he was just drilling this for 2 hours straight. And it wasn't because it was of me. It was just he was talking about as a team holistically. So he was saying everything you do, you want to be consistent. So, like you want to be like, for example, for us, like for me as a football player, I want to work hard on the field, obviously. But he was talking about you got to work hard in the weight room. You got to work hard in the classroom. When you're cleaning chores, when you're doing chores, you got to work hard. Because at the end of the day, when you get to a point where you're in a high stress situation, you're gonna fall back on your habits. So like if you don't work hard and you get to a situation where it's highly stressful and you have to work hard, you're not gonna work hard because your habits show that you're not a hard worker. So like you guys are in 4th to 8th grade, you guys are building your habits now. It's easy to build habits. It's hard to break them. Like building habits is just over time doing the same thing over and over again. It's just when you already have a bad habit, you have to break it and then reestablish the good habit. So build on great habits of doing things the right way all the time. And you're always gonna mess up. Like you're gonna mess up a lot. You're gonna mess up a lot more in life than you get the thing right. But the fact that if you're conscious about you messing up and improve on it and don't mess up the same thing, then that's when you start to see improvements and realize your full potential. Because everybody has a lot of potential in life. Like not one person like is born without the potential to do something great in life. It might be sports. It might be being an author. It might be painting. Like it might be public speaking. It might be helping people out. Like just when you build on those habits, you realize the potential that you have in any walk of life that you take. And that also goes with like things that you don't like. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say that I like school. Like I don't like going to school. Like I'm like y'all guys. I don't like going to school. But like, but at the end of the day, like I know in order to do what I want to do, I have to go to school. And I have to be competitive in school to do what I want to do. So doing the things you have to attack the things that you don't like the same way you attack the things that you do like. If anything, you have to attack those things more because you love the other things so much. Like that's how I try to think of it. Like I think about like not going to class sometimes, but it's like I gotta go to class so I can play football. I love football that much, so I have to go to class. So just like attack every day, live in a moment, try to build habits that so when you're in high stress situations that you can perform to the level that you want to perform at, and just attack the things that you don't want to do as well as attack the things that that you do want to do.
So, look, I'm not even. You dropped the mic. Done is done. Over. I'm done for the year. I'm done teaching. There's nothing else that needs to be said. Speaking of habits, which Mr. Gonzalez is having a moment because he talks about habits all the time. So I'm gonna go text him and we're just gonna fanboy for a second. Bro, seriously, I really appreciate you being here. In the spirit of saying all the things that you just mentioned and going and having strong habits, make sure y'all are going to class now. All the people who message me like, oh, I got a class, I'm gonna go find you in the school because you were very, very adamant about getting to class, and I'm gonna make sure that you went. Sanusi, it has been great to have you here. Y'all can go ahead and log off. Thank you so much. I'm opening the chat so y'all can share that love with Sanusi as well.
Thank you so much.
One day you're gonna
It was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you. Though. Be safe. Thank you.
So you have to come to 1v1 I'm gonna win. I'm just 1v1.
I think he said you gotta come to one of his games.
Just go, bro.
Jaden, what I'm gonna try to do is I'm
I'll
gonna
show
try to get a group of us to go to one of their games. I don't know, man.
I'm gonna love.
What's your schedule looking like? Y'all got any games on the East Coast?
Yeah, we play UConn.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
perfect.
We go to UConn.
I mean, it's not super close, but
yeah,
we'll make it work.
Close enough. Yeah.
I was gonna say, Danny, so Mr. Swirsky he's the principal of our school. I'm gonna make sure I'm meeting with him later on today. We're gonna figure out some logistics for how to get to UConn, right?
Yeah. It's I'll send you the schedule. It's September 11th.
Wow, you got to memorize. I'm gonna ask selfishly, what game you got circled on your schedule that when it came out you were like that game?
The Notre Dame game and the Ohio State game. Those two games. And now I got Michigan State circled. I got those three games are circled on my calendar. Michigan State, Notre Dame and Ohio State because they're damn near the two best teams in the country.
Yep.
And then Michigan State because I have one of my friends, like one of my closest friends here. He's transferring. He's going to Michigan State, so he plays receiver. So like it's gonna be I'm gonna have to match up with him. So like that's gonna be a fun matchup just because that's my guy and he's talented too. So
that's what's up.
That would be fun. That would be a fun one.
That's what's up.
But also UConn too. Just because there's gonna be a lot of people coming to the game that I know. So it's gonna be like a home. It's gonna be as close to a homecoming as I'm gonna get. So that's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, look, and I know you're gonna be coming back to the city just to probably visit fam, do whatever, like come see people. But the next time you're in the city, let me know.
I'm about to be there in like 2 weeks.
I bet. Well, you got my number. Let me know. I'm around.
I got you.
All right, man.
Yeah, I'll let you know.
What's up?
Did he play with Clemson?
Has he played them? You saying? Oh, you guys didn't play Clemson yet, right?
No. We don't play Clemson.
Yeah,
we don't have no like anything that play Clemson unless we go into like the national championship series and we play Clemson there. We ain't gonna play Clemson anytime soon.
It's different. conferences. Like
Conference,
they're
yeah.
not going to end up playing at like Auburn or like Alabama.
Yeah. Now my little brother is getting recruited by Clemson right now.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
What's your brother's name again?
Musa.
Oh, I remember. I remember.
Yeah.
Wait, he's getting. First of all, he was. I mean,
Yeah.
you were a stick too, but y'all both. I don't know what they feed you out there, but y'all both probably got big.
Nah, he's big now though. He's like 6'2", 180 right now. So like I thought I got big offers. He gonna get everything really. Like he getting recruited by Penn State, Clemson, like
My God,
Ohio State. Like he's gonna be big time.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's dope. All right. Well, I don't know, Swarovski, I don't know if there's anything else you want to mention, but I was going to close the call soon. But again,
I just want to say thank you. I don't know who that is.
yeah.
No, I mean, the number of people, I mean, Fernando said this, it's just like the number of people that are commenting. It's just this was needed. Like yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Nah, no problem.
I had to make it up to you. We're gonna come.
I don't.
No, it would come. I mean, like, come see you in UConn, something like that.
Yeah.
Figure it out.
Yeah, nah, that definitely be dope.
Yeah, man. This is the impact you have on people. Seriously, I couldn't be prouder, bro.
Appreciate it, man. I mean, you seen me from when I was a little boy, like.
Which is why I'm like,
Yeah.
how are you squatting cars now? I don't get it, bro. It doesn't compute. It doesn't make sense. And look,
Yeah.
I'm not a weak dude, but you're squatting entire like villages, and I just don't get it. I was like, this is what he looked like. But it was like, you were like, oh, I'm gonna go like take this jumper back in that little middle school gym we had. That look you had when you approached the squat rack. I was like, oh, I've seen that look before. Just not 500 pounds of weights. All right, man. Well, yeah, we have some people who are just hanging around because they want to say what up. But I'm gonna close or maybe they fell asleep. I don't know what it is. But I'm gonna close the chat. We'll talk soon. All right, man.
All right.
All right, man.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye.